Hey, what is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Avajoro Sports Talk Podcast coming at you. All right, with another edition of the Unscripted Sportscast, baby. And of course, you know, had to come in on a Monday. Free agency blasted off yesterday at 6 p.m. We got all the free agency buzz in the building, popping off, getting ready for you. I'm going to unpack the top, what I believe is the top free agency signings. All right, of the day, starting since yesterday. So I want to make sure that your boy hits every single one of them today. All right, so we could go ahead and react to them, give you my takes, and of course, I'm gonna talk a little more Laker basketball. You don't have to, dude. You don't have to. It's just a must, man. You know, LeBron James. You know, he is the dude, right? The man, the myth, the legend. The guy that everybody admires, right? Because he's so brave to have his kid drafted, you know, making sure they draft this kid and he's got to take a pay cut, right? We'll dive into that later. But let's get started. Blasting off 6 o'clock last night, man. The Orlando Magic decide to pull the trigger on one of the biggest signings for them in a while. Contavious Caldwell Pope. KCP is going to Orlando, 3-year deal, gets the bag, does his thing, makes a little bit of cash here. I think this is a really, really good signing. Really good signing by the Magic. You know, this is an up-and-coming team with Banchero, all right, with all the other players that they have. I don't have them lined up in front of me. However, adding a veteran player like KCP, former champ here. I think he's a 2-time champ as well. You know, it's good. It's really good for the team. It's going to help anchor these young guys. You know how well they play in the first round. They lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers. But at $6 million, you got themselves a proven shooter, a guy that's probably averaging, I think he was averaging like 10 points a game with Orlando, can hit the three. All right. I mean, with Denver, can hit the three, can do various things here, and also is a pretty decent defender. So, I mean, hey, what can you say, man? That's you gotta appreciate that. That was a really good move. I thought KCP was gonna be back with the Lakers, but he's not. You know, I think people are saying clear the Lakers. But shout out to KCP. Solid move by Orlando. This brings him a veteran that can help anchor that young stud of a lineup. All right. That was the first signing of the day that just popped off like it was a firecracker on the 4th of July, baby. Another big move after the Golden State Warriors decided to drop CP3, Chris Paul. Happened on Saturday, and on Sunday, boom. Wasn't expecting San Antonio and Chris Paul. Not at all. The declining point guard and Chris Paul, you know, I think he's still holding on to some basketball nostalgia here, whatever you want to call it, man. I don't know why he is wants to still play, man. He should retire. He is one of the greatest point guards in the history of the game. He should retire, call it quits. All right. Just he's had a good run. He's one of the best point guards ever played the game. Now, look, if it's last year, this is not for a championship. I think he might have called in a favor here by Greg Popovich, one of the GOATs, all right, who probably wants him to kind of help out this really, really young lineup and up-and-coming lineup, especially with a young generational talent like Wemby. Hey, maybe he wants to get this team some leadership from a veteran standpoint, which I know they don't have a lot of veterans. I get it. But I think Chris Paul should have retired this year. I think Chris Paul should have retired last year. Shouldn't even gone to the damn to Golden State. Never understood that trade. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. Never understood the Golden State and Chris Paul trade. It's stupid. Old age. I don't know. That should have been something that should have never happened. But Chris Paul is going to be ushering this young squad of the San Antonio Spurs. I think it's mainly for that. He is doing a favor for Greg Popovich here. And look, who are to say it's a bad? It's a league minimum, man. So you take that kind of leadership regarding for your team. So I think it's mainly that's what it is. What do we had next? And we're gonna hit all these right here. Oh man, Jonas Valanciunas, man. Our boy, this is a pick, man, that I wish the Knicks would have gone after. Jonas, 3-year deal with the Washington Wizards. Knowing, after the Knicks losing Harnstein, who signed an 87-year deal, 87 million. I get it. Look, it's a lot of money. I think the Knicks did okay by not going after Harnstein. This guy right here would have been a hell of a player with the Knicks and very cheap. Valanciunas last year averaged 14.6 points per game and 10 rebounds, a double-double, 54.5%, almost 55 field goal percentage, top 3 in points, rebounds, and blocks for the Pelicans in 2022. Shit, man. This guy should have been our dude. This is one of the Knicks for $30 million in 3 years. Knicks dropped the ball on this one. I was hopeful for this because listen, this guy will give you also durability. It'll mesh right in greatly with that kind of culture the Knicks have with McCall now and OG. Look, Randall, he's probably on his way out. Excuse me, long day today. Randall is probably on his way out. We're probably going to end up trading him we're going to pull something left before the free agent is over. We signed OG to the big contract. He would have fit right in. He would have been able to benefit us. A guy who's going to get on the boards, can score. You know what I'm saying? Great passer. This one hurts, man. I don't know why the Knicks didn't jump on that. But, the Wizards, who are a team of rebuilding, definitely rebuilding. Nothing but rebuilding. We'll see what happens. Cheap, man. $30 million for a guy that can get you a possible 14 points per game. Even last year, he didn't have, 23 wasn't as great as 2022, but I think Valanciunas can be a guy that can get you 12 to 14 easy, 8 to 10 boards per game easy, and a great passer. And at 30 million for 3 years, 10 million a year, this is like a fucking steal. I don't know what happened here. The Knicks fell out the wheel. But hey, shout out. This is a really good signing. Cheap and good. This is great. All right, let's see what else we got. Moving on to, and of course, there were some extensions that needed to happen. And one of them was huge, was the Pistons. All right, signing Cade Cunningham to a 5-year, $226 million rookie extension. This is their best player in the team. We've seen what he could do. It had to be done. Absolutely had to be done. It'll be stupid if you do not lock this guy up. You know what I mean? New coach, new great draft pick. They're building for the future. I think this team right here with another couple of other signings that we're going to see shortly are going to be vastly improved in 2024, the 2024 and 2025 season. So rookie extension, that was a no-brainer by the Pistons. You have to lock up your best player, Cade Cunningham, who's actually to be one of the best players out there in the NBA. So moving on to, let's go over here, the Philadelphia. Okay, here's the team that kind of like right now it's out there spending every single dime and is going all in for like the 5th time and God knows how long. All right, for the the 5th time in the last like 5 years. First big signing was Paul George. Everybody thought that Paul George was going to end up as a Golden State Warrior like I did, but man, Golden State was asking for so much for Chris. Not the Clippers were asking for so much for Chris Paul that completely was like unattainable by the Golden State Warriors. And I'm glad Golden State walked away. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute, but I want to break this down real quick. CP3, my guy over here, goes for a max free agent extension. I think it was $212 million. That's a lot of fucking money. That's a lot of money, man. CP3 getting another bag. This guy has got nothing but bag in his career. All right. He's been just on fire. Hold on, let me go look at the stats. CP. Yep, for this, I mean, he got $212 million of another 4 or 5 year contract. Huge money. They're going all in again. The Pistons also, in the same time, the Sixers did not sign Tobias Harris. Therefore, Tobias Harris, 4-year, $212 million. I forgot. I'm sorry about that. Tobias Harris ends up signing with the Pistons. Again, the Pistons just signed Tobias Harris, 17 points per game. I know they're adding there, losing, but they're replacing him with Paul George. And the same token, Oubre has agreed with a 2-year stay with the 2-year deal with Philadelphia. And the other big one was Maxey. Tyrese Maxey, my friend. 204, 5-year rookie extension. You had to sign up your boy Maxey. Maxey is a huge freaking player, probably second. Paul George is going to a team that is going to be the third option. Paul George is a third option in the Sixers, boys and girls. Think about that. Maxey is number 2, and Embiid is number 1. Think about that. Paul George has had a good career, not the career that people probably thought he was going to have. Everybody thought that Paul George is going to be the guy after they traded him from OKC. And we're going to hit that trade, by the way, because we're going to react on that. But Paul George, what he brings to the table is, long. He could hit the outside shot. He could hit the long range, can defend, right? He's a good player. Last season, he's 34 years old, not going into the heydays of his career. He averaged 22 a game, 5.2 rebounds, 3.5 assists, shot 47 from the field. He does put some really impressive numbers. I'm looking up his stats right now. Let me see here. Last year, let me see. He, from beyond the arc, he shot, 38%? Yeah. It's not bad. He's a good player. However, at 34 years old, that's a lot of money. He's been in really big games, did not live up to the expectations in the Clippers, not so much from his standpoint. He was the most consistent player there. It was Kawhi who just kept getting hurt. But, you have to go for Paul George. I think he was the biggest name. Paul George was the biggest name in this weak free agent year. So they wanted a lot. The Clippers wanted a lot for Paul George if they're going to trade, and the trade did not go through again with Golden State. So that did not happen. Let's talk about this before I move on to the next free agency signing. You guys understand that when they traded Chris Paul from Oklahoma City, the Clippers gave up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, stud. Danilo Gallinari, that was just a piece. Let me see, 2022 first round pick, 2024 first round pick, 2026 first round pick, 2021 first round pick, a Miami 2023 first round lottery protected, 2023 first round pick swap, 2025 first round pick right to swap. It's a lot of shit they gave up for George, man, for just mediocre seasons in the playoffs and getting bumped out by Dallas multiple years. Getting, eliminated by Dallas multiple years. Well, opportunity number 3. All right. Third time is the charm. He was the leader when he was super young, battling LeBron in Miami with the Indiana Pacers. Then he, of course, went to Oklahoma City, made that team make the playoffs, carry that whole team on his own. And then gets his second chance with a super squad with Kawhi Leonard in the building, Russell Westbrook, then James Harden. I mean, they've had all the mixes they could think of. Fell short. This is his last opportunity for a winner. And Philadelphia feels the same way. Is their last opportunity probably with having a young player like Maxey, who, again, he was locked in, got himself a nice 212-year Paul George, and then Maxey through an extension of the rookie extension here of 204. They just spent a lot of money. They just spent a lot of money on bringing Paul George and also paying Maxey. You have to pay Maxey. There's no doubt about that. You know, Maxey's a guy he is the guy that also carried that load last year when Embiid was out. So with that being said, man, that's just, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Philadelphia, boys and girls, is all in. The East is just unstoppable right now. All right, with the Knicks making all their moves. This team right now trying to compete with Boston. And we're going to touch Boston in a minute. But I think the Paul George and LA Clipper trade was probably the worst trade in the history of the NBA. That's a lot of capital, man, for a lot of capital for a lemon. And I'm not blaming Paul George 100% of this. Kawhi had to do a lot to do with it. So, really nice. Very nice. Why don't we move on next year, man? Look at that, man. Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey. I mean, the Clippers, the 76ers had to do what they had to do. They had no choice. You got to pull the trigger, man. That was available. Some minor notice here. We got Andre Drummond, a 2-year deal, $10 million. Again, with the 76ers, all right? Again, here's another guy that I don't know why the Knicks didn't go after. If you were not going to secure Hartenstein, man, Drummond would have been another great replacement. A center that can defend. We missed that last year. Knicks dropped the ball on this one. But however, hey, 76ers reloading, baby. Reloading. They're just loading up, bro. Loading up. This is good. You're going to have a center here that can back up Joel Embiid when he gets hurt. You're not going to get the offensive production from Drummond, but Drummond can defend. Drummond is still one of those centers, man, that puts up some great numbers. All right, double-digit rebounding, blocks, rim defender. This is a real cheap steal, man. You really ended up peanuts for Andre Drummond. We're another guy that hasn't had a great career after the fact when he got hurt. But yeah, man, Andre Drummond, $10 million deal, 2 years, 76ers. It's really cheap, man. Look, the numbers. Let's look at this. Let's take a look at Drummonds here, man. The numbers for Drummonds are really good. Let's take a look at what he did with Cleveland. Let me just go ahead and pull this up. Oh, man, I just misspelled Drummond here. Let's see what Drummond has. Okay, let's look at Drummond's numbers for the value. For the value, 8 points, 9 rebounds last year. 55% from the field. Let's take a look. All right, this was Chicago last year. He played about 17 minutes per game. It's not a lot of minutes. And in 17 minutes per game, 8 points, 9 boards. He's a career 12 points per game and 12 rebounds per game guy, bro. This guy with enough minutes, remember his decline has been the last few years because of injury. Last year he played 79 games, averaging about 17 minutes per game. But this guy in his heydays was 17 and 12 guy. For $10 million, this is a fucking steal. Philadelphia right now, I think is doing well for themselves. Really well for themselves. All right, what else do we got? Let's move on to the next free agent signing, baby. It's all about the free agency, 2024 free agency frenzy. All right, let me see. I think I got that. I got Drummond. Derrick Jones Jr. getting that bag, baby. Derrick Jones Jr., 3-year, $30 million with the Clippers. He's replacing Paul George. The Clippers are going to be a shit show with Harden and whatchamacallit and Kawhi next year. So not much to say here. He had a good season with the Mavs, but We got to stay on the Mavs a little later because they also made a splash today. All right, let's see who else we got. Like I say, Uber also signed with them. Man, look, they're pulling some moves, man. They are pulling some moves. All right, I share Maxi with you, Lura. Tobias Harris. Harnstein, like I mentioned earlier, got that bag. Headed to Oklahoma City. Oklahoma just really loading up with some good players, man. $87 million for 3 years, a lot of money for a guy that I like for the Knicks, but I'm okay with the Knicks walking away from this. All right, he's just a really good energy player, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the Knicks walking away from this. I'm telling you, it's not over yet. I think the Knicks going to pull a trade that's going to involve Drummond. I mean, not Drummond. My guy, Julius Randle. It's funny. Josh Hart tweeted out, "Say you're dead to me. I never liked you anyway. Congrats on the bag." You know, kind of joking around. Josh Hart is a troller. He's so funny today when Ronaldo missed the first when his first kick was blocked by Oakley, and he was crying and shit. He was like, he trolled right away and tweeted out saying Messi would have never missed or something like that. Hilarious, man. Josh Hart has become like one of the best Knicks out there, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's move on to the next free agency here. We're about to hit. And I don't know what's going on here, man. Let me take a look. Make sure nothing is breaking here that I'm missing, like OG Anunoby. You know what I'm saying? Making sure I don't have any late breaking news here. Yep, Gary Harris reportedly staying in Orlando. $14 million. Good trade. Good signing. Good signing. Good signing. All right. Next, who do we have here? As soon as free agency broke yesterday, it was all about LeBron James, is willing to take a pay cut for a established playmaker or big men like Clay, Harden, or Valanciunas. So far, James Harden went ahead and resigned. The team picked up his option. He picked up his option. The team go ahead and paid him. Valanciunas was signed with the Wizards. Apparently, he called Klay Thompson at 6 p.m. when you were able to go and talk to players, right? And let me tell you how that worked out for LeBron James. Huge signing. I think the most important signing of these playoffs. Klay Thompson signs with the Dallas Mavericks. Rumor is that Klay got offered $80 million for the same amount of years from the Lakers. What happened? Why is it Klay Thompson who was asking for way more money? So we broke this down on Friday. I broke it down last week in my own when I did the Unscripted by myself here, and I also spoke with when me and Jim did our Cigars and Sports. Shout out to my boy Jim, fan of the van. And we said that he needed to lower that down to $25 million a year, $20 million a year. That's kind of where he's at right here. He actually less than $20 million. But the Lakers giving him $80 for 3 seasons. He was got to get more than what he was going to get in the team. And as we know, the Golden State Warriors are cleaning house. It's about time. CP is gone. Klay, who had a great career, should not be ashamed of the time he spent with the Warriors. I think the Warriors did right by him in every way. It is time to move on from Klay. And Klay Thompson and Dallas Mavericks is a huge deal. Klay in his declining years, all right, because he is in the decline, still averaged last year 17.9, almost 18 points per game. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 43 from the field. He played 77 games, not bad. Still shoots it great from the free throw at 92. And 38 from beyond the arc. He's a 41% career three-point shooter, 85% career free throw shooter, almost 20 points per game, 19.6 points per career guy. Yes, he's in the decline, but he still has some miles left. All right. You can still play for 3 years. Clay is 34. Dallas has Clay, which fills a void that they had this year. They have a consistent knockdown shooter, one of the greatest ever to stroke it from beyond the arc. The guy can come off screens, knock wide open jump shots, wide open threes. We know his reputation. He's a lethal fucking shooter. And last year, when you saw a lot of those wide open threes in the NBA Finals by Maxi Kleber, Derrick Jones Jr., all right, PJ Washington, Josh, whatever his name is, all those guys. Forget about Hardaway Jr., who he's done. Look, you replaced right now. You got a production, whether he comes off the bench or he starts, that is unbelievably strong. I think for the price, for $50 million, 3 years, and getting a guy like Klay Thompson, who's still dangerous. Yes, he's on the decline, but shooting-wise, he's still dangerous and fits the mold, playing with Kyrie and Luka. Boys, Luka Doncic may lead the season in assists next year. I mean, the league in assists next year, because he's got to hit Klay Thompson on that corner, everywhere else beyond the three-point line, like it's no fucking joke. Because Klay is going to probably hit 40% of those shots. Biggest signing in my book. And he keeps the Dallas Mavericks as a relevant contender in the West. Because Denver has not gotten better. Denver got worse because they lost KCP. And they haven't done any major moves. Golden State, forget about it. They haven't done anything. All right? Dallas are better than right now the Golden State. Lakers, which we're going to dive in real quick, hasn't done shit. You know what I'm saying? The Clippers got weaker. So Dallas is going to be right back at four of the 5 best team in the Western Conference final, in the Western Conference, just by picking up Klay Thompson if he's healthy. And I believe they got somebody else also there. I forget who it was, Marshall. But yeah, this right here was a huge signing by the Dallas Mavericks, and another one that everybody thought was going to go to the Lakers. Another player that LeBron missed out on. GM James. Let's not get it twisted, y'all. Let's not get it twisted. And I'm going to leave the Lakers for last. All right, I'm going to leave the Lakers for freaking last. Because that's how we're going to close the show. I mean, before this, you had all this shit going on. I thought this was going to be the team that was going to pick up Klay Thompson, the Denver Nuggets. Them and the Lakers were my favorite team because he's from LA. But nope. That's not the case, boys and girls. It's not the case. Woo, this is going to get nasty. This is really going to get nasty here, man. Because I'm getting to that point where, the Lakers are coming up so I could break down how great of a free agency season they have so far. Shout out to Tobias Harris, I mentioned earlier. 2-year, $52 million. Great veteran addition. Tobias Harris averaged last year like 17 points per game, right? Third option. He is going to be probably the second option. He goes back to Detroit where it all started. Going back to Detroit, the Motor City, baby. That was a good pickup, good price for a nice veteran that's going to help these young Bucks in Detroit. All right, I spoke about Hartenstein. Okay, before we move on, boom. After announcing earlier today, the Celtics, their ownership group said they were going to go ahead and, hey, they're going to be looking to sell the Celtics, their percentages, their shares, whatever, majority ownership stake, probably by the 2025 season. Wow. Talk about capitalizing after winning a championship and raising the value of the team even more to go ahead and cash in. Immediately after they said that, hey, Boom, extension for, oh my God, my boy over here. White, Derek White. All right, our boy Derek White gets a 4-year deal, 125 mil. Contract extension. Pretty freaking solid, isn't it? 125 mil. That was the first shoe to drop. And you got to keep this guy. This guy's actually a knockdown shooter, great defender. He's really, really good. I mean, he's one of the reasons why you won. He hit some shots against fucking Dallas, man. This guy's good. Great piece for that team. Right, like a couple of hours after that, breaking news. Boom. 5-year max, super max extension for Jason Tatum. $315 million. The largest contract in NBA history. I mean, you knew this was coming. This is no secret, right? You know, Jaylen Brown is getting paid upwards in the same neighborhood. You knew this was coming. So they're going to lock down their biggest players, make sure the sale goes through. Remember, that's the whole point. They know the new ownership group is going to come in. They want to make sure the superstars, the people that put the players that put butts in the seats are still there. And you have to lock this guy down. I mean, that's all they got money for. They're just going to run it back with practically the same team. That's what the Celtics are going to do. They don't have enough money to bring in other players, all right? They just got to run it back with the same team. And why would you? I mean, you have no other choice. You have to lock him down, pay White his money. That's it. They don't have no money left. Their cap is fucked. But, hey, they're the champs, man. They could do whatever the hell they want. So with that being said, let's go back. These are the top trades for me that I felt that they were, the top moves of the day. With that being said, this whole weekend, last week, and, I've been very vocal about it. I am not in any way going to I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. All right. Not going to keep beating up on Bronny. It's not Bronny. I'm beating up on LeBron James, not on Bronny. Again, it's not Bronny's fault he got drafted by the Lakers. It's not Bronny's fault his dad pushed him to get into the NBA draft because he told him he's going to go ahead and get him drafted because I'm LeBron James. LeBron James right now at this point, to me, boys and girls, call me a hater. I don't give a fuck what you say. In the words of their new coach, JJ Redick, is probably the most selfish superstar in the history of the NBA. And we also know that he is running the Lakers. I get it. Push your kid, get him drafted, become the first ever father and son duo in the history of the NBA. I get it. Fine. Tell the Lakers that you'll walk if your kid doesn't get drafted. Boom, I get it. You got leverage. Choose your own coach. I get it. JJ Redick, even though he said he wasn't part of the coaching process. I get it. And then go out there and say that you're willing to take a pay cut if they sign somebody that's worth a shit. I don't know. Who's running this team? Is it Jenny Buss and Rob Pelinka, a.k.a. Rob Lowe, or LeBron GM James? It is obvious that is LeBron James is running this team. Just like Joe Biden is not running this country, there's somebody behind the scenes pulling the strings. Just like Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka are not running the fucking Lakers. The strings are being pulled by one guy, LeBron James. I think LeBron James is probably the first player in NBA history to have as much control over NBA teams that apart from anybody in the history of the NBA. The only team that LeBron could not influence and pull strings were the Miami Heat because Pat Riley doesn't play. All right. And Pat Riley put his boy there. All right. And Eric Spoelstra. That's just an organization that balls get put on the table. He did it with Cleveland. He brought in the players he wanted it, got the coaches fired that he wanted it, brought in the coaches that he wanted it, got them fired again. Comes here to LA, same thing. Gets the coach that he wants. One left because says, fuck it, I can't handle this. They win a championship, fake-ass championship in the bubble. But He's the one pulling the strings for the Lakers. Ginny Buzz ain't doing shit. And neither is Rob Pelinka. They're all puppets. They're all LeBron James puppets. Dr. Jerry Buzz is probably rolling in his grave, and I said this over and over again this past week. By seeing a player, a person that works for his organization, a person that he pays a lot of fucking money to, call the shots. When his job is not to direct, is to fucking get up on damn court, shut the hell up and dribble. It is what it is. But here we are. Biggest day. Klay Thompson is not there. Paul George is not playing with him. Biggest names. They don't want to play it in LA. Klay Thompson took less money. And he was the guy bitching about money. They haven't done a single move. D'Lo opted in. Great. Yeah, what the hell are they going to do? They probably convinced D'Lo because somebody else wants to come and play with that team. They signed a rookie guard. Great. Out of the players that are left, these are some of the names that are left on the board here. Top 10 free agents on the board. LeBron James, who obviously is waiting for them to sign a big. They ain't got to sign nothing big, dude. LeBron James got to get the max extension of $160-something million. It is what it is. It's all about him. But take LeBron James as board because I'm talking about the fucking Celtics. I'm talking to you, Celtics. I'm talking to you, Ginny Buss, and Rob Pelinka. Grow some damn balls. DeMar DeRozan, Buddy Hield, Tyus Jones, Miles Bridges, Sadiq Bey, Malik Beasley, Isaac Okoro, Spencer Dinwiddie, Mo Wagner, Gary Trent Jr. Out of this group right here, if you want to go take a big risk, it's going to be DeMar DeRozan to help you guys out. Next, Miles Bridges. Buddy Hield. It's another guy. You already got Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't know about Mo Wagner. Gary Trent, maybe. But the biggest two names here that can probably make a difference, starting with DeMar DeRozan, is the biggest name. He's from California, too, guys. I mean, you're going to let another California guy walk? Klay Thompson from California. LeBron James could not sell it, huh? I think people are realizing that nobody wants to play in that fucking shit show of a clown show that is called the Lakers, the LA Lakers. They saw what transpired with the draft. Again, Dalton Connect, great pick. Then after that, hey, the circus started. The Lakers will be a clown show next season, boys and girls. It would be a freaking clown show next season. You're going to have LeBron James making top money with a team that's probably, if they make the playoffs, is another first round out. And God forbid that Anthony Davis gets hurt and out for the season or plays only like 40 games. Mr. Street Clothes. You may see him in a lot of street clothes next season. That team is not good at all. Not good at all. It will be a circus. It's the LeBron James circus. And he's the ringleader. I don't know if he's practicing his GM skills for when he does own a team after he retires. I don't know. I still can't call it. I cannot believe this is happening with an organization. The Lakers are the second most successful basketball organization in the history of the NBA. They're number two they were tied for first. Now they're number two to the Celtics in championships. We know the Showtime Lakers. We know the Lake Show. Jerry West Lakers, when those guys were like on, even though they were losing to the Celtics, they were always going to the NBA Finals. This is a historic organization. The Kobe Lakers, the Shaq Lakers. Man, it's a shame. It's a shame. Ginny Buss should just sell the fucking team to somebody that's actually going to run it like a business and not from an emotional standpoint. Again, Dr. Jerry Buss is rolling in his grave right now with how bad of a job the Celtics organizations are doing with that team. It's going to be another waste of a year with a huge cap. And it's all because one guy, because they want to please one person. That one person is not going to bring you to the chance. He's not going to bring you a ring. Not one more. This day and age, LeBron is just playing for his own personal goals, satisfaction, accolades, because that's all he has left. He can't ring chase no more because he's not getting 6 rings. He could keep scoring as many points as he wants, move up as many freaking scoring and assist lists as he won. But again, he's not going to be recognized as the greatest of all time because of his selfishness. Bottom line. Not hating, baby. Just stating and participating. LeBron is the most selfish player in the NBA, probably in the history of the NBA. That's going to be his legacy. Grease up, big boys. Grease up, Lakers. It's coming in hard with no lube because you haven't done shit in the NBA free agents. And you haven't touched anything in free agency frenzy. Or the big fish that supposedly LeBron had some influence on that could probably get you here. They're not with you guys. There's very little players left. And there's only one that's probably worth a shit. It's Paul George. That's what you got, man. That is all. And let me just take a look to make sure there's no like breaking news here, my friends. 813. Let me see. Let me go look, make sure there was no, free agency and stuff over here. Check it out. I am looking at the last. Nope, nothing that broke in right now at all. Oh, actually, nope, nothing. I think the latest was that one that I told you. That was latest breaking news was just Gary Harris agreed to a 2-year, 14 deal. That's all. Good. I didn't miss anything here, man. I mean, last time on Wednesday, man, the OG's news broke as soon as I hit end live. And, hey, doesn't matter, man. Your boy told you he was going to get signed anyway. Pretty much what I got all today. Thank you, everybody, for joining in, watching, getting a lot of response. I want to thank everybody pretty much, man, anybody that follows me, new followers, everybody that just tunes in to any type of the content on my YouTube channel. Finally, we broke 1 million views this past week. Let me go ahead and, a lot of my views, I started doing this podcast thing back in 2018 with my best friend. He couldn't hack it. He did a few shows. We did an audio version because, I always wanted to be in this kind of biz, man. The sports talking business. But, growing up, man, I grew up poor. I grew up in Verla. I went to college because I wanted to, earn money right away and kind of have the life that I couldn't have. And I'm happy with my personal career, man. I've done some good things. I've had a lot of fun with what I do for a living. My true passion is talking shit, talking sports. And I started doing this as a hobby. I still do it as a hobby. I probably never, I earn very little money out of this, not to support my family. But I do it for fun. And I started doing it all in audio form, through Spotify, all that kind of crap. And last year I started dabbling after I met a few people on a reality show called, I forget what it was, but it was some guys put in, forget their name. Forgive me, man. But I met some people where they started collaborating, and I never did live stuff. I never did video. I did some videos on my YouTube channel, but it was a couple of videos here and there, not many views. It wasn't consistent, but I never did live, and I started getting invited to their podcast, and I started doing live stuff. Shout out to Patriot Sports, Chris and Eric. They were the ones who I started kind of doing a lot more live stuff, and I got comfortable, and I started doing. Then I said, I said to myself, let me just start going live once a week instead of posting an audio, and then just vice versa. And I started doing that last year. Did a couple of different things. Did a couple of guest shows here and there. But I really started putting a different spin in May of last year. And I said to myself, you know what? I could take the contents from the live episodes and break them into shorts, and I started doing 1-minute shorts in YouTube. And then I added some edits, right? So if you go to my channel, you're going to see shorts from my live. You're going to see my live stuff, some videos and shorts from my live content. And then I also do edits, video edits with templates and stuff like that kind of create a buzz. And those edits and those shorts is what kind of started really bringing a lot of attention to the channel. And I broke 1 million views, which 1 million views is not a lot nowadays because I'm still not monetized. But to me, for somebody that does this like even less than part-time, it's kind of a cool accomplishment. I appreciate everybody. Met great people that I kind of do a show with. I do on the Unscripted Sportscast with Cricket. Great guy, week after week. We'll be back at it soon. Great dude, and I'm happy. I'm happy that I met him. I met Jim, a fan of the van, who decided to do cigars and sports. And there's a bunch of other guys, 1420 Sports, brutally honest with Aaron, Garrett from Two Dudes in a Sports Talk at Steel and Teal. There's a lot of guys here, man, that I've done some shows with, and I appreciate them. I broke 1 million views. Majority of it has been through short content, but again, it is what it is, man. We're trying to diversify the channel, and I appreciate everybody. I'm trying to say everybody that just swipes up and actually just gets a view of my content. I appreciate that. I think it's cool. Again, like I always say, thank you everybody for watching. Anybody who's listening on the audio platform, which I got to start updating it more. But thank you very much. This is your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast with another edition of the Unscripted Sportscast. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you, yo. Peace out.